Welcome to Black Stripe Reviews, where we review all sorts of media. Today we're going to be reviewing a movie known as Double Indemnity, released on 1944. The story of Double Indemnity follows a man named Walter Neff who works as an insurance agent. He meets a woman named Phyllis Dietrichson. They go through a journey of twists and turns as his morale falls, and he turns into an evil person slowly.
So I feel like Double Indemnity as a movie was really good. I personally really liked it. I feel like most people are skeptical because, 1944, black and white movie, most people aren't open to that, but I personally really liked it, so.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Like, I was skeptical about watching it because it was black and white. This is my first time actually dealing with a black and white movie. So I was like kind of nervous. I was like, oh, it was going to be boring. I'm not going to like it because I have no color. It's going to be like, it's not going to catch my attention. But when I actually watched it, I actually really enjoyed it. The story was very solid, very enjoyable characters overall. It was a very dark story, and it kept getting darker and darker as it progresses. And the dialogue, everything, spot on. The actual action, pretty good. I feel like there wasn't like any useless things in the movie, like unnecessary dialogue or anything that doesn't make any sense.
Everything was straight to the point. It was actually really good.
Yeah, the story was very good. So now we're done with talking about story. What was your favorite character?
Personally, my favorite character was Phyllis Dietrichson. I just feel like in that era, specifically in these types of movies, you wouldn't expect a female to have a predominant role, much less be evil or something like that. But I just really like seeing the strong female character have empowerment over people like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good message, and it's a big trope in here to have a female character in a noir because of the femme fatale and stuff. But personally, my favorite character is Walter Neff. I like him. Good main character. He was I like to see his character development. It was actually very just dark how he went from being this guy who was very honest about his work, very well kept, turned into this evil man committing a crime and doing all that evil stuff. So it was pretty cool to see all that, and I like him as a character. He's very enjoyable.
I also really enjoyed seeing his boss, Keys. I think he was a pretty good character in this too. He had a good predominant role in it.
Keys isn't really out of the question. He's really good. I really like how he was trying to, he was going based off of a gut feeling, and he was right about it, and he got all that right. It actually surprised me too. So the fact that you mentioned Phyllis as your favorite character is actually kind of funny because that's the next topic we're going to be discussing, the femme fatale. So what do you think about her as an actual femme fatale?
I think she was pretty good. She did her job. When we first see her, she's literally just in a towel, which back then for those kinds of movies, it's pretty taboo to see that, and very just inappropriate, I guess they would mention it. But, I really like how she completely, captured Walter and just, brought him in and then, brung him to his knees, really.
Basically, it was pretty crazy. She was a very good femme fatale. She, the way she tricked him, and not just Walter, she tricked all of us. I did not expect her to be, so evil at the end. The fact that she wanted to do the murder the whole time, and she made him, she created his downfall basically and made him such a bad person at the end.
Yeah, and it's just, I guess we also didn't expect it, but if you remember, her stepdaughter had an inkling that she wasn't a good person at all, and we kind of just brushed it off, and we were like, no, that's not her, but it was her, all right.
It really caught me off guard, to be honest. She was a very good femme fatale, very good character in general. So how about we discuss one of the most important aspects of noir films, the lighting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Lighting was the biggest part of noir films back then. Like if you just study like classic noir era, which was from the 1940s to 1959, the lighting, it was just very predominant, and it was a lot of black shadows, and most of the characters and the protagonists were smoking, so it would create that like haze kind of effect. It was very like they just wanted the tone to be very melancholy, and I feel like they did exactly that, because if you look at like neo-noir films, they have like a bunch of color and stuff like that, and I know black and white films aren't usually everyone's first pick, but I feel like black and white is really in that era, and it really shows how good the lighting was then.
Yeah, for noir, black and white is obviously like probably the best way to go, and the lighting was very good like in this movie, because most of the time it was very hazy, very dark, because like I feel like it also has to like imply something, like the lighting is dark because of the scene, because like what's happening is very dark, and like whenever they met at the end again, for the last time, when it was all lit up, the room was completely lit up because nothing bad was happening, but as soon as something bad was about to happen, he shut the blinds and it turned very dark, and then everything happened there, and the downfall of Walter finished in there. So we already discussed almost like everything about it. What were your overall thoughts on the film, and like what do you rate it?
Honestly, it was my first black and white film as well, and I was open to it. I wasn't like, oh, black and white. I wasn't necessarily so down on it, but I was kind of open. Honestly, out of 5, I would give it a solid 4, just because I liked it so much, and I wasn't really expecting to like Phyllis as much as I did. But she was definitely like great character. I love, the strong female lead, even though she's evil. But I loved it so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I agree with you. It was my first noir film. Unlike you, I was actually kind of skeptical about it because I didn't know if it was gonna be actually entertaining. Because like I like a lot of color in it, and like it has my eyes all over the screen looking at color and stuff. But I'll actually give the movie a 4 out of 5 as well. It was very entertaining, very good, good characters. Plot was amazing. Everything about it was just very good.
I agree.